And the Police Minister of New South Wales is David Elliot, and he joins us now from the Sky News Centre. David, good evening to you, mate. Give me an idea. You've talked about fines and so much more. Victoria, 500 officers specifically focused on making sure that the people who say they're going to be at home stay at home. What's New South Wales doing?
Well, I'd say we've got 17,000 officers to enforce the new legislation that's been taken to the Parliament this week. We're not identifying any individual person. It's my responsibility as the Minister to make sure every single police officer in the state is across the laws, understands why the laws and how the laws will be implemented. And of course, we've only this week implemented the Crime Stoppers. Part of the legislation that we've introduced allows us to have Crime Stoppers take any intelligence from the community, and already we've had a couple of hundred people reporting breaches to the social distancing regulations through Crime Stoppers.
So what sort of things? You've said those couple of hundred examples. Have police been able to identify anyone quite specifically who's done the wrong thing here, and what are the punishments for doing so?
Well, today was the first full day that these social distancing laws came into effect, and today police have issued 5 tickets. They've issued a $1,000 on-the-spot fine to a 61-year-old lady in Lake Macquarie, and 4 people have been breached in a massage parlour in Sydney.
So I am assuming well, we won't go too far into this, but the massage parlour was supposed to be closed. These were people who were clients and workers in that facility that was supposed to be closed?
Well, there was a $5,000 fine issued to the proprietor because, as a corporation, they have a steeper fine, and then there were 3 other fines issued to workers. So we're not going to muck around with this. This is legislation that has been introduced to protect people, to save lives. I mean, my point to the critics of this legislation is, as Australians, we have a defence force, a police force, we have a minimum wage, insurance and Medicare. Why do we have all these things? To protect ourselves, to protect our lifestyle, to make sure that we have minimum standards. Unfortunately, in times like this, we have to man up. We have to make sure that we do have extra legislation to ensure that we can maintain the lifestyle that we've become accustomed to.
There were reports today that police haven't been getting enough straight information out of the health department about the specific individuals that they need to be keeping an eye on who are meant to stay at home because they're supposed to be self-isolating for 2 weeks. Has that remedied itself, or is that still the case where one arm is not talking to the other?
No, I'm very confident that as of today, the Police Commissioner will be receiving the data, the intelligence that he needs to receive from the Health Department, so that our police can actually monitor the people that have been identified as being either at risk, breaching self-quarantine regulations, or indeed breaching any laws relating to social distancing.
I was talking before about some of the idiots who call O. And they say the dumbest things. They ask for the most stupid things. And I was reading these examples before. Somebody rang O because a bat flew into their window. Somebody rang O because they saw a couple of Asian people with suitcases open. Somebody rang O to work out whether Sydney was in lockdown or not and they should go to work. What do you say to people who are misusing O at a time, well, at any time, but certainly at a time like this?
Well, don't. This isn't new. People call O with stupid things quite regularly, but this isn't a time to waste police resources. It's not a time to waste the O network or to clog it up, and it's not a time to waste the resources of the other agencies that respond to O calls. This is a time when we need to be calm, collected. We need to have legislation and regulations that the police and other agencies can work with to protect individuals. This is not about us making sure that Australia loses its much loved lifestyle. We're not doing this because we want to be the fun police. It's not to try to punish anybody. It's to stop people from becoming sick. And if you want to know what we've got available to us if we don't introduce this legislation, we don't introduce these laws, we don't honour the spirit of the law, and indeed if we don't waste police resources, just have to turn on the SBS News and watch the Spanish news, because that's what's going to happen in Australia if we're not very, very careful.
Finally, Minister, what do you want to say to the men and women who are going to be carrying out all this policing for the next little while?
Well, we're very grateful. I mean, policing is a tough job at the best of times. It's not the sort of job that should be made available to anybody. It's not the sort of job that you can certainly shirk on. This is a job that is there to protect society. They have a sworn oath to do what the Parliament and the people of New South Wales expect them to do. I'm very, very grateful. So when I see situations like we have over the course of the last couple of days, where police have been spat on and people have gone into Coffs Harbour Police Station and coughed on staff and said that they've got coronavirus. I mean, this isn't the way that we want to treat the people that are there to protect us. It's not the way that we want to treat people that are there that will turn up when our lives are at risk. I'm horrified at the thought that we have to put the lives of our police at risk over the course of this particular matter, but I'm also very, very grateful that in New South Wales, at least, we have 17,500 people that are prepared to do it.
You're a good man. Thank you, David. I appreciate that you're there as part of the operation and part of the response and sitting around that cabinet table in New South Wales. All the best.
Thank you, Paul.
David Elliot, Police Minister in New South Wales.